Well, good morning. This is the video for June 9th, being recorded on June 8th. Um, Interesting night last night, but I'll talk about that after I read the blurb and the title. The title for today is, Are the Seeds of Change Finally Going to Sprout? The short answer to this is, of course. The real question is what finally means, or soon, or any other words locked in time. As hard as it is for me to wait patiently for the changes I want to see happen in our physical reality, things that I have long seen metaphysically or spiritually, I know the process of shifting the paradigm is happening. I see more and more signs in my life as I remain open and allowing. Yes, and more trusting of the divine lover behind the process of birthing not only a new reality, but a new humanity as well. Lots of people still don't get this, believing that the distortion in what we have been told is human nature must continue and will create violence. I see it differently. In order for seeds to sprout, they first die to being seeds. The sprout is no longer just a seed at all. It's a new creation. That's what's happening. Anyway, I'm in an interesting time in my life. I spent, close to probably we keep getting cut off, the ambassador and I. And we had like 3 separate conversations because we kept getting truncated and the call kept getting dropped by Skype. I wish they'd come up with a communication system that those things would be virtually unknown, but it happens in Skype all the time. And every time we get to start talking about something that might be a little bit important, that's usually when the call gets truncated and cut off. So anyway, whatever's going on is going on. But the ambassador was told by the Red Dragon to fill me in on some of the history so that I have a bigger picture of the history. Now, I stopped him early on in the conversation as he started talking about things, and I said, this needs to be recorded. And he says, well, I'm not in the safest place right now. And when I get to a safer place, maybe the end of next week, I don't know if he meant, like, this is a new week now, so I don't know if he means this coming weekend or if he meant the following weekend. I'm not sure, but I'm fairly certain that by the end of June, he's going to be in a place where he's going to be able to record a video with me like I do with Aristo and stuff like that, and it might be a lengthy one, or we might do it over a couple or 3 days. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I'm going to let him explain some of the overview of how this dragon family and the Council of Elders and how all of this fits together. So this is one segment of my life that's happening. Of course, the other segment of my life is going back to the life force energy and developing relationships so that we can transform 666 from the mark of the beast to the mark of the avatar, because that's the new creation. We're creating that, folks. There are people on earth right now that are actually creating this. Listen to me. The cabal doesn't know how to do it. They don't have their creativity activated because they've cut off a part of themselves that's virtually, it's not like it's gone, because you can't totally destroy it, but they're so out of touch with reality that they don't know how to create. They need other people's creation and to channel other people's creation to try to serve their own nefarious and psychopathic ends that they want to accomplish on the earth, regardless of what means they need to go through to do it. And it's like a giant cosmic chess game that's going on spiritual levels and on material levels. I mean, there's all sorts of going back and forth, but in my personal life, I've gotten in touch with this divine lover. And on the way to hear my son play last night, I was praying. Actually, I should say just having a one-way conversation, except sometimes I feel like it was a two-way conversation, with the divine lover. I was blessing everything. I was blessing the sky, the earth, the waters. I was blessing all the plants and the animals. I was blessing the cars on the road around me. I was blessing everything, everybody, and thanking this divine lover. And I love seeing God. I mean, I like that. I mean, my favorite word for God was all that is, and I still like all that is. But calling God or Creator the divine lover gives me a whole new sense of intimacy with the Creator that I've had from time to time in my life, but it seems like it's being activated more now as my life begins to sprout in new directions. And as I begin to let go of the seed and let the seed disintegrate in the earth and let that life that's in the seed bring forth new life. And that's what's happening with humanity. That's what's happening with me in relationships. I had a beautiful conversation with a lady that I met last night. And she sees so many of the same things that I do, and is being led, because she's also metaphysically oriented, and she's being guided and led along a very similar path to me. And she sees me as, she said, you're like a Melchizedek or something like that. That's the energy that I sense around you. I like that. You know, that's a good thing. And it's true, because for those of you that don't know, a long time ago, I don't even remember how old I was, but it was a long time ago, decades ago, I woke up from a dream, and there was this, in the dream, just before I woke up, there was this booming voice that said, you are a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek. Now, that's what they said of Jesus, of course, and I'm not saying I'm Jesus. I know there's a lot of people that do say they're Jesus or the reincarnation of Christ or something like that. No, we're all Christs. We're all Buddhas. We're all avatars. We're transforming the beast into a new humanity. Okay, but anyway, she saw me as a Melchizedek. So that's, you know, and I remember back, and I actually shared the story I met this person, and I was I felt really strongly connected to her at one point in my life, 20 years ago. And when I approached her, she says, well, I can't, you know, your energy just doesn't mesh with mine because you have too much priest energy. Yeah, I do. I'm a priest, okay? And I'm a prophet, okay? And I'm a son of God, okay? And I'm a man, okay? And I'm a lot of things, okay? I'm a multifaceted being, and so are you. I'm not different than you. Jesus wasn't different than us. Buddha wasn't different than us. That's why Jesus said, the things that I do, you shall do also, and greater things than these shall you do, because I go to the Father. That seed was planted, that seed particular was planted 2,000 years ago? Probably not. Probably a lot more ancient than that. And it's been lying dormant for a very, very, very long time, but it's not dead. That seed's not dead. It's in you. It's in me. It's on this planet. And the alignment of energies is such that right now a huge shift is happening, and the seed is starting to sprout for some people. For other people, the sprouting is a little bit different. If you've ever watched seeds, they don't all sprout at exactly the same time. Even if you put them in the ground and give them all the same treatment, they don't all sprout at the same time. They sprout in a sequence until they're all sprouting, and they grow at different levels because every one of the seeds is individual. But every one of the seeds, no matter which seed it is, the seed has to die to being a seed. And humanity, we are dying to being egos that are disconnected from the spiritual dimensions of life. And as we recognize and connect with those other dimensions, a transformation takes place in us so that we literally become a new creature. And we're here developing having experience and developing relationships, first with ourselves, and then we start to develop relationships with others. And the purpose of relationships is healing. First and foremost, before anything else, before sexuality, before any of the other dynamics that take place in relationship, the purpose of relationships is to heal. Because each of us can only see ourselves in relationship to others. We need someone else's eyes to reflect back to us, and someone else's perception to speak back to us things that they see and things that come up for them, and triggers get set off, and issues come up in relationships. Not to torment us, but to heal us, to bring us to a place where we become whole. That's the objective, to become whole, to become fulfilled, filled with everything that is ours, till all the latent tendencies, till all the latent gifts awaken within us, till our DNA is fully activated and all the 90-something% of junk DNA starts activating, and the seed starts coming alive and sprouting, and it transforms. It's no longer a seed, as I said. It's no longer a seed. Folks, this is what's happening. I also talked to my son last night, and like my friend that I talked to the day before yesterday, he says, Dad, you're not going to stop. Human nature is human nature, and maybe a few people are going to change, and they're going to be in danger from the people that haven't changed, because the people that haven't changed are going to want to steal what they have, because we're coming to a time when there's going to be great lack. And this is sort of the pessimistic attitude that so many people develop, and that's what some of the fear mongers that are out there are trying to tell us, that it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and look at all the problems that we have, and they're insoluble. We can't resolve these issues. They're just going to get worse till it destroys everything. No, the seeds are dying, but sprouts are forming. New life is coming out of that death. It's like the phoenix that rises from its ashes. It looks like destruction, but it's not. It's life being born anew, afresh. It's happening with the dragons. It's happening with humans. It's happening with the reptilians. It's happening with the elite. It's happening with life on the planet. Whether you see it or not, there's something taking place beneath the surface of our mainstream media, even beneath the surface of much of our alternative media. It's beneath the surface. There's something brewing that's going to continue to work, and we're being drawn into the area like the Celestine prophecy, all these synchronicities and serendipities, and people connecting with other people almost as if by magic. People connecting with people that are saying, wait a minute, oh my God, when I look at you, you're part of me. You're just another me. And we're starting to recognize the in Lakesh, Alakin, you're just another me. Namaste. You have the same stuff in you that I have in me. And those of us that recognize that our work's beginning to work with each other and beginning to transform ourselves. But it's really not, it's almost not like we're doing it ourselves. It's almost like we're getting out of the way finally and letting the divine lover nurture the process and bring the seed to full germination and start to sprout, creating the newness of life, creating the fulfillment that we've always wanted but have been afraid of. Somehow we've been pushed into fear of becoming who we really are. We're powerful. Do you understand that we have the capability of transforming the entire world, and that there are no insoluble issues? There are no dilemmas that we face that we cannot resolve, that we cannot transform and transmute the energy? Do you realize that all of the things that we decry and rail about, the things that we see that needs to change in the world, the corruption, the pollution, and all of the mass of problems that we're facing right now is all part of the energy of transformation. It's all part of the old dying, the seed giving way to the sprout and to a new plant, new life that will produce many more seeds, which will also die and sprout. It's a process, folks. It's a process. I know you get impatient. I get impatient too. But if you just step back, develop a relationship with Creator as a lover that loves you, a lover that wants to connect with you, that wants to give you everything you've ever wanted and everything you've ever needed that is good for you. Everything. We want a world that works for everyone, and it's a process, folks. It's a process of transformation. The shift is on. The shift has hit the fan, and it's spreading everywhere. People are waking up everywhere. Relationships are being created everywhere. Relationships, not in the old paradigm form of relationships, of ownership, but in the new paradigm of freedom, of liberty, of recognizing yourself in the other, and recognizing that when issues come up, it's not about fighting each other. It's about loving each other when these things come up, and choosing love anyway, instead of going back into the fear module, into the fear paradigm, where everything is fight or flight. No. We are in a place where we can choose to embrace the darkness and transform it by letting our light shine in that darkness. We can transform the pollution and the death that's all around us by embracing the pollution that's in us and transforming ourselves through Ho'oponopono, through the attitude of love, through the attitude of repentance, through the attitude of forgiveness, through the attitude of gratitude. All of this is what Ho'oponopono is. It's the four attitudes, if you will, the Beatitudes of transformation. But it begins with love. Have a relationship, develop a relationship with the divine lover. Call to your divine lover, speak to your divine lover, know your divine lover. The divine lover is you, and you are the seed of that divine lover. And the divine lover says, are you ready now to germinate? Are you ready now to sprout? Are you ready now to let your life flow in a different direction? Are you willing finally to trust me and get out of your own way and start loving the biggest enemy that you've ever had, which is yourself? Oh, are you ready? Are you ready to let the seeds of change finally sprout so that you can become the you that you've always been, but were afraid because it was too powerful, it was too beautiful, it was too wonderful for you to comprehend? Let go of your fear. Release your anxiety about what's happening, and realize that the winds of transformation are lifting us up on wings of a beautiful eagle or a condor or a phoenix, and we're rising to newness of life. Let the seeds of change sprout in you so that you can become the best you could have ever imagined. It's happening, folks. Go with the energy. Feel it. Go with the flow. It's the energy of transformation. The shift is on. Thank you for listening. You have a beautiful day, and namaste.